Come on in. Here's some more paperwork. Come on. 99 hots. Does anybody have a way I can get my hands dirty? XO? Where is it? Fire it up. Today we're here in the forward mess decks. Now not only is this a place where most of the crew eats, but it also provides access to spaces all over the ship that most people never get to see. Today we're going to go down that hatch from the 2nd deck down to the 7th deck and do some work on a weapons elevator. But first, we have to make sure that we take off our FOD. We don't want anything getting in the way of the weapons elevator, and we have some other concerns to talk about as well. So I'm going to put down my executive officer binder, carry it around so I can take notes, make sure I get back to all the department heads on the things that I want them to work on that I see around the ship. I'm going to put down the picture of Chester Nimitz that I carry around all the time. People ask me, why do you carry a picture of Chester Nimitz? To which I reply, why don't you? Now it's time to defod myself. Okay, now that we're down here in the weapons magazine, we've defotted ourselves, we've taken care of all of our spark producing and electromagnetic producing devices so that we protect the weapons down here and make sure that we don't inadvertently set anything off, because as you can see, we are surrounded by weapons. We're also joined here by the sailor that runs this particular magazine. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us where you're from.
I'm Bass, and I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas. Anybody you want to say hi to back home?
Hi, Mom. Hi, Jackson, which is my son.
Outstanding. And you're going back home for Mother's Day, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you're a Cowboys fan?
Yes,
I
I
heard.
am.
Okay, I'm an Eagles fan, so unfortunately we can't be friends,
classic.
but that's okay. We'll get past that. Aaron Bass here runs this magazine. So what do you have stored down here?
We have our J-Styles, our joint standoff weapons.
Okay.
We have our HM-154s, our harpoons, and our harms.
So what we have right here, these are the harpoon. They come fully built up in these cases, and this is where we store them on the ship. This is Weapons Magazine 774, right? So that means that we are in Weapons Magazine on the 7th deck, so down well below the water line, and then the 74th frame is forward of us here. And you can see the size of this place if you guys can pan around and get a sense of how big this is and how many weapons we have stored down here. Now, Airman Bass is responsible for this space, keeping it clean, making sure that we maintain accountability of all the weapons that are stored in here. And then, Airman Bass, how do we get these weapons up to the airplanes so that they're usable for us in combat?
Well, what we do, we break them out in the cans, we use a forklift, and then we put them on a skid and we load them up on our lower stage 3 or lower stage 4 elevators and send them up to the main deck, and then they take it up from there.
All right, so what we're about to do, and the reason we're down here, is we are about to do some cleaning on the lower stage 3 elevator to make sure that our weapons move smoothly from the weapons magazine up to the flight deck and onto the airplanes. Airman Bass, thank you very much. All right, let's get cleaning the weapons magazine. All right, so any job that we do on the ship requires proper personal protective equipment. I just added an extra P to that, so I'm just making up terms as I go along here. These guys are the experts. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell me what we're gonna do today.
Okay, my name's Aaron McCord. I'm from Benita, Oklahoma.
Anybody you want to say hi to back home?
Sure, I'll say hello to my wife, Anna McCord, and my mother, Arlene McCord, so.
All right, outstanding. Okay, so walk us through what we've got and what we're gonna do today.
Okay, so right now we have our poopy suits, and these protect us from the hydraulic fluid so we don't stain our FRBs.
Sure, yeah, these are very nice, so we don't want to mess these up. Make sure we put on a suit to keep those clean. Good.
Also, protects us from the, sometimes the hydraulic fluid can give out a cancerous thing if in mist form.
Okay.
So therefore, this helps us protect ourselves.
All right, so we're protecting ourselves both from a uniform standpoint and from a danger, cancer standpoint. What else do we have?
We also have these protective general purpose gloves. These help us from when we are handling the hydraulic fluid or grease or any type of general cleaning supplies, so they don't get on in our skin and could break us out.
Okay. So since we've got cancerous material, we want to make sure that we are protecting our hands as well. Might also be useful as you're walking around the ship shaking hands with people, so if any of that gastro is going around making everybody sick, this is probably just as good as Lysol. Okay,
Yes,
so we got that. What else are we going to need
Also,
today?
we need, last thing is our eye protector gear, which obviously don't allow hydraulic fluid to get in your eyes, because that is probably the most common thing for us is having hydraulic fluid get in our eyes, because it explodes. So,
Okay, all right. Okay, so we don't want exploding eyeballs from the hydraulic fluid. We'll put these goggles on, and then that's all the PPE that we need for this job?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then let's get ready to get clean.
All right, let's do this.
All right, so we're gonna start. This is it? Okay, let's get in the trunk. All right, we've made our way down into lower weapons elevator 3, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is my expert here. Introduce yourself, tell us where you're from.
I'm M03 Roberto Polito. I'm from Los Angeles, California.
Say hi to anybody at home?
I want to say hi to my wife and my mom. Pretty cool.
All right, hey, sounds great. You gonna see your Mother's Day?
No,
No, not this time? All right, you going home and leave?
No, I'm not, sir.
Okay, staying here, saving money?
Yes, sir.
Okay, he's gonna work hard for us on deployment, but glad you're getting a little bit of time off while we're back here. Okay, so now walk us through what we've got here. This is our maintenance pub
Yes.
for the weapons elevator.
This is actually our cleanup pub for NAVC.
This is great.
Telling us what the material we need.
Okay.
For cleaning up the hydraulic fluid.
Okay. So this pub is going to walk us through how to clean up a hydraulic fluid spill. And so tell us what happened over here.
So earlier during this passenger way, we had this cylinder gland seal break off, and it was dripping a lot of fluid.
Okay.
More than we expected.
So right up here,
Yes.
you can see the cylinder. If you can pan up there, and this helps move the elevator up and down. So the gland seal cylinder, or the gland seal on that cylinder,
Yes, sir.
ripped
Yes.
and leaked.
So the cylinder's gland seal, one of the O-rings had broken, and it caused a lot of fluid to come out of it, and left this back. Yes.
And made a mess down here.
Yes, it did, sir.
Okay, so this is corrective maintenance.
Yes, it is.
This was not supposed to do that, but we fixed that problem. Unfortunately, we're left with a bit of a cleanup.
Yes.
Okay, so let's demonstrate to everybody what we're looking at in terms of what we're going to clean up here today. We can slowly move our way over this way. Oh, you're in on this. All right, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from.
I'm Aaron Warren from the greatest country in the world, Texas. Hug 'em, Lawrence. I'm from Port Arthur, Texas, to be exact. I've been in the Navy for about 3 years now.
All right, outstanding. We're going to say hi to at home?
Oh yes, I'd like to say hi to my mom and my dad.
All right, are they in Port Arthur?
Yes, sir.
Outstanding, good. Good to hear. All right, so what we're going to show is the difference in the two areas of this weapons elevator because of the problem that we have, and then what we're going to have to clean up. So show us over here, what is this that we're looking at?
Right here, sir, is a hydraulic pocket. And right now, this one has nothing in it right now because nothing dripping on the drill, sir.
Okay, so this is the hydraulic pocket, empty, because you can see that nothing has leaked down here. Unfortunately, we do have the corrective maintenance over on the other side. So let me slowly make my way over here. Introduce yourself and tell us where you're from.
Hello, Herman Rodriguez Moran. I'm from Gilbert, Arizona. I've been in the Navy for almost 2 years. So,
Who do you want to say hi to at home?
Oh, I would like to say hi to my mother, who, I miss very much, and to my girl, who's back at home as well.
All right, Mrs. Mom and girlfriend. Understandable because he's working down here in a weapons elevator. He never gets outside, never gets email. So, all right, so now we're going to see what the problem area is. If we can move over here and take a look. Here, I'm gonna go on the other side and you can point it out to us. Where what we're looking at. So if you remember the other side, how we had that hydraulic pocket that was empty, what do we have down here?
So this pocket right here is filled with hydraulic fluid. So as we said earlier, it dripped from the cylinder that we fixed. So this is what we're left with.
So this pocket is the exact same as the other pocket over there, is that
Exact
correct?
same, sir.
Okay, so now that I've got my goggles on, I want to show everybody that's watching this exactly what we're looking at. This is what we're going to use to help clean it eventually, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can zoom in here, you can see this is the same pocket as the other side, except it's filled with hydraulic fluid. So this is our job today, is to get this thing cleaned out and looking just as good as that guy on the other side.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead and explain to us how we're going to make this, how we're going to clean this hydraulic pocket out.
Yeah, so we're going to be using these dustpans to take out the hydraulic fluid, and we're going to be filling up these buckets with it.
Okay,
Once we filled up the buckets, we'll place it up on top of the ramp.
we're going to fill in here first. We're going to put the buckets up there.
We're going to put them up there first, sir.
Okay.
And then once we're done doing that, we're going to fill this up with degreaser and water, because that's what we need to clean up the deck. So once that's done, then we set everything on top of there, and once we're all done down here, we'll bring down the elevator, and we'll put everything on the elevator, and we'll send it back up.
Okay, so once we get it up top, what happens to it at that point?
So then we have a team take it to Has Waste, and they have a certain barrel that we can dump it into, and they can get rid of it properly.
So they hold it on the ship until we get an opportunity to put it off the ship in port. We're not just going to dump it over the side. We're going to control this all the way from here in the hydraulic pocket to getting it off the ship to be properly disposed of. All right, so this is a complicated process. It looks like it's going to take a lot of scooping in order to get these barrels filled up, and we'll get that taken care of, and then we'll use the elevator to move it up to the hangar bay,
Yes, sir.
and then back to hazardous waste.
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you guys ready to get started? Now, if you can speak real loud from up there about the chemical again. What was the chemical?
Sir, the chemical is ethanol glycol. It's 90% water, 10% ethanol glycol. So it's still dangerous, but it's only mostly dangerous and cancerous in its mist form. So that's what we try to avoid the majority of the time. If that is the case, we have to evacuate the space and come back with a SCBA and proceed to cleaning or taking off the system so there's no more mist forms.
Dustpan. You can see how far down that goes. So that's a lot of hydraulic fluid. And the hydraulic fluid is what helps to lubricate it and keep it operating correctly. So obviously a leak in that is no good for us, which is why it's great that we got it fixed, so that we can get all these weapons up to the roof and under the airplanes. And the reason they're going to use the elevator to get this up to the hangar bay is because of the narrow ladder that it takes to get down so far. But right now we're 6 decks below the hangar bay. We're on the 7th deck right now. All right. So if my math is correct, 7 minus 1 is 6. We're pretty far down. That'd be a long way to haul these buckets up full of hydraulic fluid. All right, so back here with Petty Officer Rivera Pulido. He's not only the supervisor of this job, he's also the safety observer. So tell us what you've done to make sure that we can operate safely down inside the weapons elevator.
So what we've done is we tagged out the elevator, the electrical part of it, so we can come down here safely and not have any runs or whatnot.
Okay.
Coming down.
All right, so when he says tagged out, we're talking about electrically tagging out the equipment, which is just a fancy way of saying we've removed the ability for electricity to operate this elevator. That way we can operate safely inside without having the elevator come down on top of us, which we would not want. Now, he was also telling me that this job could take about a week. You can see how deep that was when we were down there cleaning it. And oftentimes this maintenance will get interrupted by higher priority maintenance. Our job is primarily to do what?
Keep the ordnance going up and down.
Keep the ordnance going up and down. So if another higher priority maintenance job comes up, we may have to stop this because this is mostly for long-term maintenance. Get the ordnance moving again, and then once we've cleared that up, we can go ahead and de-energize this weapons elevator again and get back into the maintenance to make sure this weapons elevator serves us for the rest of Nimitz's service life.
Yes, sir.
All right, and so then the reason it can take a week, not just because of the interruptions, is also because in order to get those buckets that we filled up to hazmat and haz waste, we have to clear all these electrical tags to get electricity flowing again, make sure everybody's out of the elevator and clear. Then we can bring the elevator down, take all the hazardous waste back up to the hangar bay, get it over to the proper storage facility, and then go through the process of electrically isolating this elevator again and going through the process over and over. And that can take how many runs to get through how much we just filled up there?
It depends, honestly, about how much fluid there is down there.
Okay. So we've already filled up, how big are those buckets? Those three-gallon buckets or so? We've already filled up 5 of those. So we've got 15 gallons worth of fluid already pulled out and only beginning to make a small dent into the shop here. So you guys have a lot of work ahead of you.
Yes, sir.
It's fantastic work that you're doing to maintain the combat capabilities of this warship. I'd shake your hands, but I'm all covered with cancer, so I'll hold that to myself and let you guys get back to it. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank the media department for making their way all the way down here the 7th deck. Once you see the ladder, you'll be impressed by what they've done, especially dragging these cameras and sound equipment. And thank you guys for all the hard work you did. Appreciate it.
It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it, right?
Outstanding. He said it for me. Fire it up.
All right, sir.
Punch it.